regardless of what stage we are on our profession, there's always another new level, respectively, right? And within that new level, there's a particular processing work, right? Aside from just the casual replications and the squirrels that just get their nuts and yes, we got our little crumbs and we got what we came here to get. We got our share. Now let's scurry away and let's scramble away. Yes, we're just replicative bots and we really ain't shit and we just fucking thieve content and data. Aside from that, within the process of no choice, if we are on that path of quote unquote no choice end quote, then the real game of life and quote unquote spirituality end quote, right, is to really work on your traumas and emotions within how society is changing. And as because if there's no choice, then whatever, we have to be ready for whatever happens, right? So if we're ready for whatever happens and we did the emotional work and the energy work, we could rebound quicker whatever happens, because none of us are in control of the grand matrix infrastructure game. We just think we're in control. We're just fooling ourselves. There's a no choice dynamic that we get to practice and process. And within that no choice dynamic, it's pointing to you have to do the emotional work. And this goes beyond the zodiac signs and the zodiac genetic characteristic traits, right? Because that's what really the simplified zodiac shit is. It's just the genetic characteristics of how the seasons endowed you with where the planets, quote unquote, celestial beacons were where they are and they imprinted on you. And your soul had a resonant match to go into that. And maybe this physical thing was a reflection of a whole different soul game. And all the shit I say, the original observers know where it came first. So anybody saying that they're the top shit, it's on the overall picture. It is false. But if we're to practice if whether you're new or not new, the no choice game is pointing to you do the emotional work, so you're comfortable with the fuck shit that happens outside. The temporary disalignments. That's what the 3D is for, temporary disalignments. So within the temporary disalignments, that's always going to happen. The new age rhetoric is not going to save you from future matrix malfunctions. That's not going to happen. And we're distributing and catering and influencing and quote unquote plaguing end quote fragmented, incorrect, inaccurate logic that's not correct. So the real game is do the emotional work, because there's a certain context of no choice where this shit is going to be with where it's going to be. And I'm not saying nobody has no choice. I'm saying it on a general level. I'm not saying you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying other shit is going to do how it's going to operate. And the no choice, the quote unquote human design end quote path that's unique and catered to you, ironically and obviously, because people are just hypocrites that they can't even realize it in their own rights. The no choice path is pointing, you have to do your own emotional work so you're okay with anything that happens on the outside. And there has to be a unique type of detachment, right? And a unique type of control of the senses, right? So that's the fucking path. I'm the fucking best to ever do it on a neutral energetic level, and real timeless shit knows that. So the no choice path is it's telling you just to start practicing the emotional work if you can within the matrix, because obviously the matrix doesn't really applaud you emotional healing. It doesn't necessarily applaud that, but the more you emotional heal with how you can, then you could just accept things for what they are. No choice generally. I'm not saying you don't have a choice with how you get to make decisions. So the no choice thing is pointing it to us. Can we focus on the emotional work? Can we focus on the generational curses, right? Can we understand the generational curses? Could we not distort another person's path? And the gift is the curse is the gift type of shit. Because if I were to get overshadowed in my life, then it's like for you to quote unquote metaphorically cover the sun, but the sun metaphorically, for example, is growing and growing, how it's growing, then the sun is gonna breach, bleed, and and come through, right? So that's the metaphor of just like you trying to drown someone and put their head under the water. Eventually, like, you know, the environment and the program will eventually like let the person's head come up to breathe after air. Because even when I was in seventh grade, there was a kid that did that to me, but that's not here or there. I'm just saying, and I don't have any bad blood, but it's just like, just these things, they add up, you know, they add up, you know, the trauma adds up. So the game is for the no, in my humble opinion, the no choice game is worry about yourself and focus on the emotional work that you can. Because if no choice is a thing, the matrix is going to do its thing. All we could really do is do the emotional kind of release if we can. You have the best life ever.